All right, it's Thursday, and yesterday we had the brand new Trump appointed Federal Reserve chair have his first rate announcement and his first conference, and it was hawkish. Even though he did hold interest rates, he made it clear that there is potential for rate hikes this year from the Federal Reserve. It looked like about 9 out of 18 of the Fed officials believe that there will be a rate hike this year by the Fed. Now, of course, all interest rate sensitive assets were affected by this. We saw the S&P 500 drop. We also saw our 5-year treasury yields going up because of that announcement. So who knows what's really going to happen? The Fed very rarely follows their dot plots, never really come to fruition. They usually look at the 2-year treasury yield and follow that. But of course, on top of all this, we have the memorandum of understanding between the US and Iran. And yes, we have to call it a memorandum of understanding and not a deal. But it looks like it's going to go through because strategic oil reserves, or whatever you want to call it per country, it's probably named something different, are getting further and further depleted. The US is at a 41-year low. They've been releasing oil out of these reserves to try and keep oil prices down during the closure of the strait, which is one of the reasons why we never saw the $150 to $200 barrel oil that was projected by people who basically don't know what they're talking about or just looking for clicks, which is a whole nother issue, by the way, is we live in a time where people are looking for clicks and views and content, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's put it out there and just say whatever, and hopefully you get some views out of it. That's a whole video for another day. But this is just another example of what was going on behind the scenes and why, since this is getting further and further depleted, why this memorandum of understanding is probably going to go through, because they're running out of oil, which further begs the question, Iran has done some really great work at showing that they don't even need a nuke to cause chaos in the world. So why would they bother getting a nuke? They don't need one. They've got the Strait of Hormuz. They essentially nuked the economy by closing that strait. So it's interesting how they keep talking about nukes and we got to make sure they don't get a nuclear weapon. They don't enrich uranium. What they've done, and they can do it again, is way more damaging than a nuclear weapon, as far as I'm concerned. They don't even need to worry about it. This is straight up destruction that they were able to do. Once the fight started, they had their plan. They executed their plan. It worked perfectly. And now the U.S. is making a deal with them because they're running out of oil and they're running out of time.